should probably get started.
I'm staying shut
What?
because you won't edit it out.
Have you been playing anything new since the last episode?
Pokemon.
Oh, on the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I've been playing. I forgot which Pokemon. I'm just so bad at this.
Have you been taking your memory pills?
No. Sword and Shield, I think it's the name. Well, it's the first time I'm playing Pokemon since 1999. I feel so old.
So you didn't get into the whole. I don't remember what it was called.
Did you take your memory pills?
That thing where you went out and you found Pokemon things out in the street with your camera. Pokemon Go, was it?
Pokemon Go, yeah.
You didn't get into that?
No, because it requires to go out. It's just...
Self-isolation is just a thing that happens to other people. Rita, that's just her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Because I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably heard of it. It's impossible to go onto Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anything without seeing adverts for Ghost of Tsushima. So I saw one of these ads and various different trending topics on Twitter saying it's the blah 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 best reviewed game on PlayStation 4, and I was like, oh, I've heard about this. Went to Steam, nope, PlayStation exclusive. But that's alright, I've got a PlayStation 4. It's good. I've been playing it all weekend. It is astonishingly pretty.
Yeah.
It's such a graphically wow. But it's an open world game. It's basically Red Dead Samurai. You know, the sort of it's the whole Ubisoft gameplay loop. New area, fight, take down forts, kill bosses, collect things, climb radio towers. They didn't actually have radio towers in feudal Japan, but they do have shrines at the top of little mountains that are ridiculously hard to get to. So it's if you've played anything that Ubisoft have published in the last 10 years, you know exactly what it's like. And it is really, really good at making you feel like an absolute badass. You know, in these games you've got the stealth kills where you sneak up behind somebody. You know, it's a standard trope in third-person games these days. You sneak up behind somebody and you press the whatever button to do a stealth takedown. You can do that in Ghost of Tsushima, but you're a samurai. Samurai are supposed to look people in the eye when they kill them. So you also have the option of doing the standoff, which is amazing.
Can't you just go like, wah, screaming
No,
at them and
walk,
chow chow?
You just walk up to them.
Yeah, alright.
Before they spot you, you shout, you draw their attention to you.
Yeah.
Right, well, you haven't yet been spotted. There's a bunch of Mongol warriors, because it takes place during the Mongol invasion of Japan. Well, they got as far as Tsushima, and it takes place during that. There's a bunch of Mongols. They haven't seen you yet. You walk up to them and you basically just throw down on them. It's like, hey, are you cowards? Fight me! And then you sit there and you don't even draw your weapon, and then you just wait for one of them to make a move, and then off with his head, and then another one, and then another one, and then. It's amazingly cool. It's a skill that you have to upgrade. The standoff skill allows you to just dispatch the first one to attack you by walking up to him and saying, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough."
You feel that game seems to be making you feel like it made you feel when you were a kid with a stick hitting grass.
Yeah, totally.
I was that kid as well.
And you can upgrade the skill to do the first one and the next. And the next, and the next, and so it's words. You know, whereas with a stealth kill, you take one of them, and then the rest of them all know you're there. But with this, you can take half the group out. Although if you fuck it up, you lose nearly all of your health.
Yeah.
Right. So there's an element of skill involved in it, but it's an amazingly good game for making you feel like an utter badass. And if the slightest interest in feudal Japanese culture, you're going to be all over it. But it's not the only game out there like this. You've got all the Far Cries, you've got
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption, you've got all the Assassin's Creed games. Yes, there's a camera sitting. No, not a camera sitting under a cat. There's a cat sitting under the camera. Yes. Stop doing that. They can't see it.
Sorry, she was looking like a cute raccoon.
And a lot of these games I never went back to. But games like... How can I put this? Games like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Mm-hmm.
I've played through twice. Did it once, completed on the PlayStation, and did the whole video series of it. And I'm playing through it again on PC and trying to do different things this time.
I hate how many people you have to kill to get a hat in Red Dead Redemption. Like sometimes I see someone walking by, it's like, oh, he has a really cool hat, I want a hat. So I kill the person, and then sure enough, someone else saw it, and then that person tries to run away and tell everyone else. So I need to go after that person, and then rush back and try to hide all the bodies, and then sometimes...
Or you could just go to a hat shop.
Oh yeah. It's like I end up killing like 15 people for a hat.
Wanted in 7 counties
Yeah.
for a hat.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice hat. Tell
It
me
was
you
a
like
very-
my hat.
Exactly.
It's a very nice hat.
By the way, before we continue,
Oh yeah.
what are you wearing today?
Totally forgot about the T-shirt of the week. So do you get it? Quid's fishing boat trips.
It's not that guy that had a shrimp boat and then he ran a lot.
It says Quint, not Forrest Gump.
Easy.
I'm just going to turn the camera off. If she's got a black eye when I turn it back on, she walked into the door, okay? Even as I was saying it, I knew, but it was too late. I started. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Red Dead Redemption's got the story. You want to find out what happens to Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you want to see how the gang end up. Far Cry 5, a lot of people didn't like the game mechanics because
Yeah.
it was basically the same shit, just in a Montana skin. But the story in Far Cry 5 kept me engrossed all the way through to the end. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yes.
Why are you laughing?
I'm feeling smug.
Oh, okay. Because Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
But I kept playing Horizon Zero Dawn because I wanted to know what had happened. How did the world end up in this state? Where did all the machines come from? And so on and so on and so on. There's none of that in Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah.
There's no real story to it. So, yeah, I mean, there kind of is, because all the samurai get slaughtered in this bad... 80 samurai trying to stop 10,000 Mongols. One survivor, and that's you. So, and there you go, try to, clear the island of Mongols by raising a revolution and blah, 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 and so on and so on. In exactly the same way as you do in every Far Cry game ever written, in the same way as every Just Cause game and Ghost Recon game in the last 10 years, and so on and so on and so on. And there are some stories that you follow, like
Mhm.
other people that you're trying to recruit have their own stories, and you follow, there's missions that tag along one after the other, but there's no real central plot other than free the island and kill the bad guy. So that's a bit of a bummer, but it is an outstandingly good game, and I have been recording gameplay. Whether or not it'll actually make it onto YouTube, in fact I might have some running in the background here.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know we didn't put the green screen up. I'll just put us down in a little corner of the screen down there or over there, and we'll have it running in the background. If I can be asked to transfer it all from PlayStation tonight. Don't worry, I will.
Before?
Yes, I don't
Isn't
know,
your mouth so dry?
Yes, the other thing that we forgot. But anyway, we had a T-shirt of the week. So if you're of a particular, excuse me, if you're of a particular age, you'll probably recognise Quint's Fishing Trips. Oh, what's going on? Quint's Fishing Trips. It's a movie reference. You know the movie?
No, I actually don't.
Well, I'm not going to spoil it. If you know what it is, shout it out in the comments. I'll just say it came out a couple of months before Star Wars.
Oof, yeah.
This is an old movie, starring Robert Shaw, Richard Dreyfuss and Roy Schneider. And now, for the part we've all been waiting for, Beer of the Week.
Yes.
Nothing particularly special this week, just, something cold. Red Stripe, this is a Jamaican lager.
Ooh, I heard about that, but never had seen it before in person. Alright.
There you go. And I am having
Ooh.
Wrexham Export Lager. This is from Wales.
Alright. Cool beans.
As you can tell by the red dragon.
Have you had this before?
Yeah,
Okay.
these are not, well, I don't know about Wrexham Exports, but I've never tried it. Red Stripe is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's a perfectly acceptable lager. It's not Leffe,
Yeah.
but it's not Carlsberg either, or Foster's. So,
Ooh.
what are you doing back there, little kitty?
She smelled beer. I'll put the bottle down here so she doesn't get kicked out. Hey, little baby.
Yeah, it's fine. It tastes a little watery.
Ah, so she's the one who's been eating my grass.
Can you see that?
I don't know. She's
No,
right
they
behind you.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Ghost of Tsushima, if you do have a PlayStation 4, I definitely recommend it. Everybody else, sorry, PlayStation exclusive. Surprising that they released it right before the PlayStation 5 came out. You'd have thought they would have waited, because it's a Sony. It's developed by Sucker Punch Studios, owned and published by Sony. You would have thought Sony would have, because it really does look incredibly nice. You would have thought, oh, speaking of which, PlayStation 5, you can actually see it on Amazon now.
Oh yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see how much it's going to cost or when they're going to release it, but it's got its own page on Amazon now, so you can. I'm not sure I don't think you can even pre-order. But you certainly couldn't last week.
Are you going to pre-order?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah. Just curious. I do need to check up the thing with the quality and streaming from the PlayStation.
Yeah, you had problem because Ghost of Tsushima would be a great, because everybody's streaming it at the minute. So people are going crazy over the game,
Yeah.
and it'd be nice to, because you could, but apparently you have problems in that you can only stream at 520p.
Yeah, PlayStation only permits me to
It never
stream.
used to be like that.
It wasn't that bad before.
So
I'm
what have
wondering.
you touched?
Nothing. I generally try to make it as highest as I could, and 520p is the highest it allows me. So maybe they want more money? I don't know. I'm assuming. I mean, given that it's Sony,
When you
gotta pay the servers.
It's possible, because we have two different logins on the PlayStation. One for me, one for Rita. And on my account, I have PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Now.
Yeah. Could be that.
I bet you don't on your account, which might
No.
Right, so sign in as me, but then
I'll try that.
But then stream to your Twitch channel.
I'll try that tonight.
So anyway, PlayStation 5 available on Amazon. No prices listed. You can't order one yet, but that hasn't stopped. At the time that I wrote this down, 187 people from reviewing it.
I hate early reviewers.
Well,
How can you review?
of course they can't review it. It hasn't been built yet. That hasn't stopped. 187, probably vastly more than that by now, people from reviewing it. And it's the one-star reviews that are the best.
Okay.
A guy called White Privilege,
Yeah. My God.
and the review was entitled, "It's white, so its privilege offends me." And he gave it a one-star review. Another one-star review from Mr. Bean, who said in his review, entitled, "I'm not buying second-hand again. Purchased this on the 5th of July 2035. Scratch to hell, they should have stuck to the PlayStation 4 black or the PlayStation 6 lime green. Also, the games in 4K look so dated on a 100,000 ARS augmented reality screen." 485 people found that review helpful.
No. They can't be serious. I mean... No, it's the
Well,
internet.
of course they're not serious.
But Paul,
They're joke reviews.
All right, because this is the internet. There are people who actually fall for that stuff.
Well, yeah, probably.
There are people like the grandparents who have no idea about technology,
I don't think grandparents are shopping for PlayStation 5s.
Well, to make their grandsons happy,
yeah, but
would be like, please gift it to me on my birthday, on my Christmas, or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think grandparents are reading reviews. I don't think they even know where to find the reviews on Amazon if they're that stupid. Stupid? Wrong word.
No.
Technically illiterate.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
So, did you know that the US Army has its own Twitch channel?
Oh, I know where you're going with this. Yes, I am aware.
Well, maybe you think you know where I'm going with this.
I'm staying quiet.
They've also got their own esports team.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Alright.
Which isn't really surprising because the US Army have always been pretty proactive when it comes to taking advantage of entertainment media.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the game America's Army?
No.
It was like a sort of Call of Duty clone. It was very good. Those of you who remember it, I'm sure you'll agree, it was a very, very realistic Call of Duty type game where you played as a member of the US Army and you would have to do things properly, like weapon drills, search and clear. You know, it taught you to do stuff properly as a recruiting tool for the US Army. You know, and there were no shortage of ways for you to ways for you to find your way to a US Army online recruiting page as a result of playing the game. But it was a very good game, and it was quite popular at one point. Well, they might have just gone one step too far.
In what way?
Their Twitch channel, they were recently dropping a link into chat. Where is it? That promised a chance to win an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller if you clicked on the link. But if you clicked on the link, it just took you to an Army recruitment page with no mention of any Xbox Series 2 Elite controller.
Yeah.
So, really? Twitch made them stop spamming the link. No actual punishment was forthcoming.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of reviews, did you know that Metacritic have just implemented a 36-hour waiting period before you can review a game?
Alright. But how do they do that?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
All right.
I think when a game comes out, you can't post a review of that game until 36 hours have expired, or something like that.
Alright.
Apparently, they think it might be a good idea for people to actually play a game before they post a review of it. And they were very quick to say that it has absolutely nothing to do with people review bombing games that have attracted a lot of negative publicity. The Last of Us Part 2, for example. So, yeah, right, of course. Yeah, nothing whatsoever to do with all the negative review bombs that people have been posting on Metacritic over the course of the last God knows how long.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea. It just means people have to wait 36 hours before they review bomb a game that they don't like.
People will wait.
People will wait. The internet is not known for its great patience, but 36 hours is nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Disrespect finally talked about his ban.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Yeah. But are they aware of that? Do they care? Probably not. Yes, he talked about his ban by talking about absolutely anything other than his ban.
Yeah.
Silent for 4 weeks?
I no idea. About
Probably about 4 weeks. And then
almost a month,
suddenly
I'd say.
he did a bunch of interviews with a whole bunch of different media outlets, all timed all of those interviews to come out on exactly the same day, and in every one of those interviews he had his legal counsel sitting next to him shutting him the hell up anytime the subject of the ban was brought up,
Yeah.
which kinds of suggests that there's some legal action in the offing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And he's been advised to shut up lest it because there's some kind of court case probably happening, although
It was the biggest no comment interview ever.
yeah, all of the interviews were basically, anytime we raised the subject, he basically, the only thing that he said about the ban was he has, to this day, no idea. Well, I don't know for sure that he said he had no idea, but I know for sure that he said Twitch have not told him why.
Yeah.
So he probably has his suspicions, but Twitch have yet to tell him why. That's the one thing that was confirmed about it. And you know, I think that's pretty disgusting. Regardless of what he is alleged to have done or not done, streaming on Twitch was his job.
Mm.
It's like me putting videos on YouTube. YouTube can cancel my channel anytime they like. They don't even have to give a reason. I mean, obviously, if I get 3 community strikes in a row, then that's gone. Then it's gone. That's that's what you expect. Community strikes or DMCA strikes in a row, then your channel's gone. No argument. That's fair enough. But they can also just pull the plug anytime they want, and they don't have to give me any reason for doing so. Twitch can do that to you.
No, I'm aware.
That's your livelihood gone.
Yeah.
Now, they can get away with this because they're not technically your employer. You know, they just provide. They just. Can somebody explain me the difference? Because YouTube pay me for putting videos up. Twitch pays you for streaming. Twitch paid Dr. Disrespect for streaming. If they're not your employer, who is? You say we're all self-employed?
No.
Because we don't exactly fit the category of self-employed as well. In every way other than the exact strict legal definition, YouTube is my employer, Twitch is your employer.
Yeah.
Is your employer allowed to fire you without any reason?
Exactly.
Because you go anywhere else and that's grounds for legal action. But Twitch can do it. They don't have to give a reason. They haven't given a reason. And yet, Dr. Disrespect, months after signing a multi-million-dollar contract with Twitch, he's been shit-canned. He says he's exploring other options and there's YouTube streaming, I suppose.
I think he said that he would not return to Twitch. That's
Always,
for
yes,
sure.
yes. Yeah, no matter what happens, whether Twitch say, oops, sorry, we made a mistake, we're very sorry, please come back. Twitch can go and fuck themselves as far as Dr. Disrespect is concerned. He will never return to Twitch. He is exploring other options. You've got YouTube, I mean, Mixer's done, but there are other
options. There always will be other options.
YouTube's probably a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, it seems like it's doing all right.
It's doing well. Facebook streaming as well is a thing, so yeah. There are probably people standing in the well. That's the thing. I mean, you'd imagine that there's people sitting on the sidelines waiting for the chance to offer him a contract, but won't until they find out why he was banned from Twitch.
It's true.
So the fact that Twitch aren't saying isn't helping anybody. But yeah, I just think it's disgusting the way you can be basically fired without cause.
Yep.
I mean, maybe they had cause, but if they aren't going to tell anybody what that cause is, you may as well not have cause. So at the very least, he needs to know. We don't need to know why he was terminated, but he needs to know.
Not my business. Yeah.
And Twitch aren't talking. So yeah.
I mean, it will be interesting, but at the end of the day, it's there. If there is no answer to the question, it's none of anyone's business.
Yeah,
really.
it's none of my business.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get fired by your employer, it's none of my business why you got fired, but your employer should tell you why.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they don't tell you why, maybe your employer fired you for a bullshit reason, but they fired you anyway. And told you that was the reason why. You can fight that in an industrial tribunal or take them to court because the reason was bullshit.
Yeah.
But if they refuse to tell you the reason, you can't contest it because you don't know why. So this shit needs to change.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't have... sorry, go on.
It's a very new profession.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I came to the UK? I need to get my number. What do you call it in English?
National insurance number.
Yeah, I need to get my national insurance number. Do you remember that?
So we took her up to Southampton to do the application and the initial interview, and Rita had to explain to them what her job was.
You could see on a man's face the sort of places he visits online, and I was like, no, nothing of that.
No.
Nothing of that.
It's online, but it's not like that.
Not like that.
It's not Pornhub cams.
Yeah, I'm not that type of cam girl.
Is that what it's called? Pornhub cams?
Nowadays it's OnlyFans.
OnlyFans, okay. Yeah.
But there are that sort of stuff as well. And I said, no, I play games for a living. And he was just like,
oh yeah.
And you make a living out of that? I'm like, Yeah, it was just such an awkward interview.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just very new, and
He thought you were scamming him. He was like, "That's not a job."
it's like, but this is an example. Like, it's a very new profession, and the law needs to catch up, and there needs to be better protection, in a sense, for YouTubers, for live streamers, whether if it's with the contracts that they have with like AdSense with YouTube, with Twitch/Amazon, with the gaming companies that are involved, how the gaming companies are behave towards us. All of that needs to be extremely well reviewed, because the cracks are starting to show. And in a sense, I am very glad that they are starting to show, because that gives to change. Here's hoping.
I think it's really cute how noble you are about this whole thing.
Oh, Paul, come on.
How idealistic. I have no doubt that things will change eventually, very, very, very slowly. But you're right, the laws haven't caught up with modern media. You look at copyright issue that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. The copyright laws that everybody's dealing with on YouTube and Twitch right now are laws from the 1950s.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no mass media in the way that there is today. No instantly accessible, viewable by millions mass media. There was TV, there was radio, and there was newspapers. And TV stations, radio stations, and newspapers had lawyers.
Yeah.
So if there were copyright issues, the lawyers talked to the lawyers. And those are the copyright laws that still exist today, which is the reason why YouTube has its whole copyright appeal system and its algorithms. Because if not for that, and Twitch is the same, if there was a copyright issue for you or me, the first thing you hear about it is when some record company's lawyers are writing to you. And whoa, no. So YouTube and Twitch act as the middlemen, because they want to head this off at the pass as well. And that's why we have the systems that we have. They're not legal systems. They're ways of stopping it before it gets to court, because going to court is the only legal way of resolving it, because the laws haven't caught up with reality.
Yeah. On the video that we made where we talked about this, most people took me wrong with what I was actually meaning. Yes, I totally understand that music should not be played. I'm not saying that I wasn't saying that I was upset because I could not play music. Of course, I understand.
Copyrighted music, Rita.
Yes, of course.
She wasn't saying she was upset because she couldn't steal people's music.
Exactly.
Or was she?
No, it's like people took me completely out of context there. I totally understand copyrighted music and so on, but it's very much like you were saying. The laws are outdated, and there needs to be some tweaking done.
Yeah. I have no doubt that the laws will change in favour of the music companies.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Because the laws go where the money goes, and we don't have the money, and Sony has the money.
Exactly.
And I mean, if you look at, there was a report published in America, I can't remember which agency did it, but they were looking into the issue of copyright. I think I should probably go away and look this up and then come back and do a cut and an edit, but I'm not going to do that because I'm lazy. And anyway, you can Google it. But basically, the report by it might have been the FTC, I don't know, some American agency, said that the current system isn't working, and advocated stronger protections for the record labels and for the TV companies, and not the little guys. No. So I have no doubt that eventually it will change, and it won't get any better. It will get worse.
Exactly.
Because that's just the way the cookie crumbles around here, I'm afraid.
Next on?
Yeah, I'm down to the last thing that I wanted to talk about this week. Yeah.
How many minutes?
Good question, I don't know.
29. Yeah, half an hour.
We're going to break half an hour this week.
Wow.
Well, it's been a quiet week. What?
Yes.
Did you think of something?
Just hours after we made last Mingles with Jingles, there was the Ubisoft live stream.
Oh.
and they're showing the trailers for.
Oh, and they were cats, weren't they? Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Norwegian forest cats or big ginger kitties?
I could not see because my stream kept crashing. But apparently you can have cats in Assassin's Valhalla, and not only you can have a cat as a pet, it will become a cat raider, so you can go pillaging with it. And I'm just so excited because I have a little Viking kitty in the house.
She's Dutch.
Yes, but there is a study that proves,
We're talking about Juicy here. She's the big ginger pussycat.
Yes, and she's looking at herself in
And
the
she's
mirror.
Dutch. She was born in I was going to say Denmark.
What the hell?
Wow, how to offend two different countries at the same time.
Yeah.
Born in the
Cancel
Netherlands.
Jingles.
Oh, wait, watch, I'll do it again. She was born in Holland.
Oh.
She might have been born in Holland, which is a province of the Netherlands, not the country.
She's a Limburgsmeisje.
Okay, whatever that. Oh, was that you saying she's a little girl from Limburg?
Yes.
Okay. I apologise to all of the Dutch out there for that atrocious mangling of your beautiful language.
Well.
She's a Limburger.
Yes.
But apparently, that type of cat, we'll put some pictures up on screen.
Okay.
What?
She's ripe for the cat. Shall
Okay.
be evil not to
This
show.
type of cat hails from the frozen north. Hey, Juicy. Oh, Ju.
Oh, Zuzu.
What's your mama doing?
She's about
That's
to bite
right.
me.
It's a Viking cat right there. So yeah, apparently this type of ginger cat is originally from like Norway and Sweden. It's a Viking cat.
It's DNA tests that were crossed with Viking roots show that wherever Vikings sailed past, there is a higher affluence of ginger cats. They favor ginger cats, so I have a little Viking little girl there.
A little soulless cat.
Yes. She's so adorable.
She really is. She's such a little innocent. I mean, she's like a big, fat, stupid kitten.
She is. The
She's
most
great.
unproblematic cat ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, there's a new Humble Bundle out,
Oh, alright.
and it's all Warhammer 40,000.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, not Warhammer 40,000, but
Oh.
Warhammer. So, $1.
$1.
Gets you Warhammer 40k Kill Team, Warhammer 40k Dawn of War, Warhammer 40k Legacy of Dawn,
Ooh.
Herald of Oblivion, and Warhammer End Times Vermintide.
So
Quite new.
it's not the last Vermintide that came out.
I don't know. Anyway, has there been more than one? Oh yeah, it was Vermintide 2 was the last one, wasn't it?
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the original Vermintide.
Okay. Alright.
That's $1.
Yeah, I'm willing to try. Yeah.
Now, if you beat the average price, you also, because you get all of those, and you get Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 2, Battlefleet Gothic Armada, Warhammer 40k Sanctus Reach, and Warhammer 40k Deathwatch Enhanced. Pay $15, and on top of all of those titles, you also get Warhammer 40k Space Marine Collection. What the fuck?
It's my mask. Do you
Warhammer
like it?
40k Dawn of War 3, no. And Blood Bowl 2, Legendary Edition, because Blood Bowl is also totally a Warhammer type. Well, I suppose it is, because it has like the Warhammer fantasy races in it. Orcs and elves and whatever.
You know,
So yeah, and I've no idea what that profits of that are going towards this time around. They didn't say.
is there any Warhammer game that is not the actual table game, that is like an online PC playing game that has Drukhari, the Dark Elder?
Possibly one of the Dawn of War games,
Okay, so I'm...
which is an RTS, Command and Conquer style.
Mm.
I was going to say, of course, Space Marine. Oh no, there's no Drukhari in Space Marine.
I'd love something like World of Warcraft, but 40k. Something I could go with Flash collectors and just...
She's into the Drukhari. They're basically the space hipster elves.
Yes. Why be, a follower of Slanesh when you can be the ones who created Slanesh? That's like a level of worse. I love them.
Yeah, she's getting way too into the Drukhari.
Excess and decadence. Oh my.
I need to start.
Ding dong, I say.
I need to start drinking heavily. I mean, in moderation, obviously. And on that bombshell, unless you can think of anything else,
No, it's good.
that's pretty much it for this
Yeah.
week. Thanks once again to everybody who supports me on Patreon. With YouTube, in the way YouTube is. People, I actually got an email just a couple of days ago from somebody saying that they wanted to start a YouTube channel. This is actually quite a good thing to end on.
All right.
And if I had any advice, and my advice is basically go for it, but don't expect to make a living out of it.
It's very hard these days.
He wanted to start streaming colonisation, which I immediately approved of.
All right.
It was a civilization game,
Okay.
except you ran the North American colonies
Oh, all right, all
until
right.
they revolted, and then you had to lead the colonial army against the Redcoats and survive, hold them off for a certain while. Anyway, yeah, great game. Donkey's years old, and he wanted to run. I can't remember your name. I'm sorry. I just remembered off the top of my head the content of your email, and I don't remember the name. And he wanted to put YouTube videos of this game up, and go for it. If it makes you happy, it's worth it. But don't expect to make a living out of it.
There are really some interesting YouTube channels out there that make content like that.
Yeah, and they don't do it to make a living. They do it
No.
because they love doing that sort of content, and people find it entertaining. Just not enough people find it entertaining.
Oh,
Um,
they can get quite the viewer base if it's done interestingly.
Well, yeah, I mean, 'cause
yeah, yeah. There's the niche. I mean, it's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I started off in a fairly niche section of the market. I mean, World of Tanks was not, it's not like Call of Duty or,
Yeah.
it was a very, very small slice of the market. And you never know. I'm not saying you're not going to make it big. Have I made it big? I haven't really made it big. I've made it, enough. But I mean, just as an example, without going into specifics, this is something anytime somebody asks me on this subject, I always quote the rough figures. I am being paid less by YouTube with 650,000 subscribers than I was 3 years ago with 200,000 subscribers. Right, the days of the YouTube pork barrel are long over.
Yeah.
I get by. I mean, I'm more than 500,000 subscribers. You think, wow, you've hit pay dirt? No, it's I get by.
My advice, if you're just starting a channel, whether you're doing YouTube or doing live streaming, first of all, be patient.
Yeah.
Don't be scared away when you see the income in the first month. Because when I started on YouTube, on the first month, I made 2 cents.
That much.
That much. So don't be scared by those numbers. If you really love it, pursue it. Don't still have something on the side, but pursue that dream.
Yeah.
So a lot of patience, and above everything, be yourself.
Definitely.
Because
I mean, like this guy saying he wanted to do Civilization, a game that must be 15 years old if it's a day, and hardly anybody even has heard of, let alone remembers. Doesn't matter. If it's a game that you enjoy, you make videos about that game, or you stream that game, because that is what will get people in, because you clearly enjoy it and you're passionate about it, enthusiastic.
And you'll find people that are also enjoy that product. And by being yourself, not only you're attracting people that enjoy the content you're making, but also reach more out to you as a person.
Yeah.
Because
your personality is going to draw people
yes, I would say when you end up trying to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. You end up relating to no one.
Yeah, you can tell when you're watching people on YouTube or on Twitch when they're putting on a face.
Yeah.
They're putting a personality
Definitely.
on for the audience. And there are some people that do it do it deliberately. I'm talking people like Dr. Disrespect, people like Angry Joe.
Raoul.
I'm sure that Dr. Disrespect isn't like his Twitch personality
Yeah.
in real life. I'm sure that Angry Joe isn't like his YouTube personality in real life. But they're not trying to pretend that they are.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's a character that they're playing for the media platform that they're on. But then you get other people who you can just tell that they're fake. They're just there's nothing sincere about the way that they come across. If you are doing content on stuff that you love, the enthusiasm for the subject, the passion for the subject, the love of what it is that you're doing will show through. People will turn up for the content and they'll stay for you. So I'm not saying that you're not going to make it because you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. Absolutely go for it. You know, stream, put those videos up on YouTube. Don't expect to make a fortune overnight or at all. But as long as you're enjoying it, you never know. You know, it might take off. Took off for me. And I never expected it to happen. I mean, for me, it was just one lucky accident after another. It happens. Just don't expect it to. As long as you're enjoying it, well, you know, mission accomplished. And having said that, thank you very much to everybody who supports me on Patreon.
And by the way, you're not the same you are on YouTube and in real life.
What? What are you talking about?
You're even better in real life.
Oh, somebody's getting dinner cooked for her tonight. And on that bombshell, I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to say this week?
And good night from me.
And it's good night from him.
And bye-byes. Yeah, don't forget. I forget the last. And I'll catch you next time.
I said it's good night from him.
I don't get it.
Oh.
You do it. Just give me the short phrase.
Tell you what, you just check the comments after this video's gone.
Guys, please no.
And everybody point it out to her, will you? Anyway, take care, folks. We'll catch you next time.
Bye.